don't know what to do.
They might not be talking yet, so I'll go over there. If I hear them at 9:30, I'll come back.
Hit the meeting and hit
Yeah.
join. And there you go.
We're still waiting on. Want me to go try and find? Lillian.
And to mute yourself is.
Well, that'll be unfortunately awkward if one doesn't show. I have no witness on behalf of the city. That'd be a shame. Oh, here's
Oh, duh.
Yeah, okay. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sorry. Hi. Connected to. Yep.
Carmella?
Give me 1 second. I'm still trying to work out this technical issue.
Okay.
Accessing my emails.
Battery, hi. Connector 2. LATTOK B46UI56N.
Set. Do we have someone with their hand up?
No, I don't see anybody with their hand raised.
Okay, very good.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we can proceed.
Okay. The Board of Building Standards and Appeals is now in session, so we'll read the preamble in compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976. Notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Ms. Aston?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of the City of Cleveland, Patricia McGinty Aston for the Law Department and Building Department, if we could verify live stream.
We are live streaming.
Thank you, sir. And as we do each time since the beginning of the pandemic, Mr. Chairman, the city does object to use of the chat function as based upon the rules promulgated by the Ohio Supreme Court on its website at the beginning of the pandemic. And if we were meeting in room 514, we would not be using a side chat. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Davis?
Mr. Maschke,
Here.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Dink,
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I'm here. Do you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, we're all set then. Call the first docket. Billing docket A 6222 16039 St. Clair Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the main structure issued on April 4th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 18th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Dana Christian. Hello.
Okay, Ms. Christian, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay,
I do.
very good. Go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
So my plans are to to revitalize the building and make affordable housing. We submitted building drawings mid-June, but haven't heard back yet on the plans. And I also have my contractor on the line, Shawan Pruitt.
Okay, so you have the contractor in place and you have submitted plans. Let's hear from, I think we have Mr. Murray, is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, they have submitted for plans. They are currently in review.
Okay, so we have.
We don't object to an extension.
You say that again on the extension?
We do not object to an extension.
Okay, so how much time do you think you need, Ms. Christian?
We have I would say about 18 months, just because Cleveland had bad winters, and it's a large project.
Okay, let me go back to Mr. Murray. Does that sound reasonable, Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, once the permit's approved, the OVC regulations will kick in. So it's really just a matter at this point of her getting her drawings. And I don't know if she's been issued an adjudication letter yet or not, or we're just in the process of reviewing. But at this point, she's done everything she can do. So once she has the permit, they'll be on a different time frame anyway. And I don't know what she can do to get the permit done any faster until she gets a response from the plan review.
Okay. So Mr. Dank, Mr. Maskey, I know you have experience in how long when on say a project this size to get this all the violations done. Do you have any thoughts on the matter?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The permits, once issued by the city of Cleveland, will give her the time to work on the project. We basically need to make a motion to give her more time to allow the city process to work so that they can respond back to her. Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Murray, how much more time do you think the building department needs to review the documents?
I think if we gave her 6 months, that would be fine, provided that the building is in a sealed condition. So we don't want to have a hazard in the meantime. Yeah,
and the exterior of the property is properly maintained.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Maskey. So a motion would be in order to give 6 months to get the permits and everything required in place, drawings approved, and all that matter. And to keep the building sealed so no one gets inside, and to keep the property cleaned up and taken care of. Motion so in order.
So move.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
can we give a hard date, please?
Yes, we can. You betcha. Let's see. 6 months would be February 13th, 2023. Okay, motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second,
second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, the notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next docket.
Or Middleton? Yeah, it's for.
Okay,
I hope
860.
that- He just said it was for the end.
Oh, so she was the same.
Okay, we're gonna have to mute mics.
But it was, what it just.
So she don't have them up in here.
Okay, docket A6322, 14315 Milverton Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no abatement. And interior maintenance. Issue on March 31st, 2022. Appeal statement received April 20th of 2022. Requesting for more time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashton, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Well, we could two couple of weeks. The violation that they gave.
Oh. You have to unmute yourself, David.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. My name is David DeVore, and I'm the attorney for 14315 Milverton LLC. Beside me is Jeannie Fatouche. She is the property manager for the subject property in the LLC.
Okay. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, let's go ahead and hear what the plans are.
Okay, so this property has been a difficult property, a challenging property. It's an apartment building with 47 units. Since the violation, the notice of violation in March, we have filed, my office has filed 11 eviction actions. We've obtained 9, I believe, 9 writ of possessions recently, most of which recently have occurred. The tenants, the problem tenants that we've had at the building have caused significant damage to the property. We're actively removing them from the property. We have installed security cameras in which we have an issue with the IT in terms of the internet connection. We have a meeting set up for tomorrow to address the security cameras so we can further deal with the security, so we can stop the holes in the walls and in the ceilings and correct them, because when we make these corrections, the next day another hole occurs. We anticipate that we will have a total of 14 vacant units. Within the vacant units, we're going to start remodeling those vacant units. And we hope to, once we remodel the vacant units, the existing tenants there, we can move one at a time and make those types of corrections. We've also obtained a contractor with respect to the pest control, Epcon Pest. We've remedied the issue with respect to, we spent $20,000 with respect to the plumbing that we've remedied. We've also, the back porch, we've taken care of. We still need to address the issue with the boiler, and we're in the process of doing that. We've got contractors in place, CC Home Renovations contractor in play in terms of helping us, that will be doing the remedial work. We just need time to get this done, and the goal is to improve the property, get the good tenants in there, and turn the property around.
Do you have your permits in place?
The only permit, we're missing a permit with respect to the boiler. Right.
Okay. Let's go to Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, they've been working with the inspector. Project is progressing. We would have no objection to time, but they will need to pull a boiler HVAC permit for the work they have planned.
Okay, all right, how much time do you think you need, Mr. DeVore?
We requested a year.
1 year?
We object to that, Mr. Chairman.
I'm not hearing that because we're getting a lot of reverb.
Thank you. This is Patty, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
We
Patty.
object to a year.
Okay,
Boiler permit was cited in March of this year. That's almost 6 months. For the boiler permit issue, we would ask if you were going to give time, you give no more than 2 weeks to get that boiler permit addressed.
okay. Okay, so you still have some problems with tenants, is that correct?
Yes, we do. And I started to speak again when muted. With respect to the boiler permit, assuming that we agree or there's an understanding that we need to pull the boiler permit within a period of time. With respect to the remaining work, is there an objection for the year time period?
Yes, we do still object to a year for the maintenance. One of the benefits of owning under an LLC is hiding personal liability, but one of the burdens is maintaining the property, and you do have remedies in eviction court. And a year is, we believe, too long, Mr. Chairman. If they can't get it done in a shorter period of time, they can most certainly always come back here in good faith and ask for additional time. But we believe no more than 6 months would be appropriate on the maintenance.
We've actively pursuing the remedies in eviction court when the court docket is court docket, and we've literally filed 11 since the violation, and we're the turnover. We expect 14 units to be vacant very shortly. That's a third of the building that we're removing in order so we can do this work, so that it's not as if we've sat in our hands on with respect to this.
Okay, well, we're gonna. With somebody else speaking? All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna give you 2 weeks to get the permit for the HVAC. And that would be till August 31st, 2022. And we're gonna give you 6 months to abate the violations, and if you feel you need more time, you can always come back. But that's generally what we do, okay? So 6 months would be till February 13th, 2023.
Is it possible to get a little bit more time with respect to the boiler permit? Can we get a month?
To get the permit?
Yes.
What's the problem?
Well, I don't know. The boiler permit was for taking the boiler out of service, which with the electrical upgrades we're making, it's just not pertinent at this moment. But I guess, so I don't know how long it's gonna take, because it's not just shutting the boiler off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Murray?
It appears that it's gonna be complicated, installation of baseboard heating, so we would have no objection to that.
No objection.
30 days.
Okay, so we will amend that to be September 16th, 2022 to get the permits for the HVAC.
Okay, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's the motion is September 16th, 2022 to obtain the permits for the HVAC, and February 13th, 2023 to abate the violations. Motion is in order. Mr. Bradley?
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes.
Before we move on, Maurice, do you hear that? Is that for us?
Sorry, what did you say, Carmela?
Are you getting the feedback like we're getting?
Yes, it's David's account. Whenever they unmute, there's tremendous feedback.
Okay.
Apologize.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Your notice will be given in 2 weeks. Thank you. Make sure you sign out. Okay. All right. Next docket, 6822 887 Ansel Road.
Your name, Clarence.
Clarence Jackson.
Hello,
Okay.
Can you hear us?
1 second. Give us 1 second. We can hear you. Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on April 5th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 22nd of 2022. Requesting for more time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing. Patricia Ashton, Law. With the appellant or his or her representative or attorney, please state your name for the record.
My name is Daisy Jackson. I am Clarence Jackson's sister, and he has hearing problems, so I'm helping to assist him in this meeting.
Okay, very good. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
Well, I've already then started to work, but it took me over 3 months to get the tenants out of the building that was tearing my building up, busting out windows, busting holes in the walls, and a whole gimmick. I talked to Mr. Arnold about the situation, and he told me he would give me time, and he came out last week and looked at the work that I got done since I had been sick, because I had been down over 3 months dealing with illness, and he came out last Tuesday, I believe it was, and he said he liked all the work I did with the exterior, about the gutters and the roofing, and he liked everything I was doing inside, repairing, doing the plastering, taking care of the whole work, and I'm basically down to the floor work now and painting. So he told me he liked everything, and he was going to see if he could just go on and nip this, so I wouldn't even have to go through this today. But I never did hear back from him. He said he was going to call me back last week. And I tried to reach out to him, but so far I haven't heard anything from him. And he ordered the windows, and he's got all that done.
Okay, how much more time
He
do you
also
think you
ordered
need?
all the windows, and he's got that documented.
Well, Mr. Arnold took pictures of all of that stuff, but I have did more work since he was out last week also.
Yeah, how much more time do you think you need?
Basically to do my floor work and stuff like that, I say less than a month. I say a month or two.
A month or two. Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, the inspector has noted that the project is progressing and looks good. We would have no objection to additional time. We do want to verify, however, that their rental registration is up to date.
Okay.
Yes, I did mail in the city had sent something. I do mail his bills and everything, so I did mail in the requested information and make a payment.
Whatever time.
But right now there isn't anybody there, but it's just one person. Nobody's living in the unit.
Just one person, and they're in apartment 3. The unit that the violations was in apartment 3, which is nobody in there now, because I finally got them out of the dwelling after 6 months of dealing with those people with their.
And everybody else.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Murray.
The building department would have no objection to 6 months. It sounds like he's running into different issues about keeping the project moving along, but it is moving. And 6 months, if we can do it in 6 months, we would be happy.
Very good.
That would be fine.
Okay. All right, motion is in order to give 6 months, which would be February 13th, 2023, to abate all violations. Motion so in order.
So moved. Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Is Iowa condemnation?
Thank you.
As long as-
Okay, next docket is A 15421 3421 Mapledale Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is
Iowa.
unauthorized illegal use, interior and exterior maintenance, condemnation of the garage, and no permit. Issued on December 9th of 2021. Appeal statement received December 28th of 2021, requesting for time to abate the violation. Mr. Chairman, we originally had scheduled this docket for May 11th of 2022. Per the request of the appellant, due to difficulties with technology, we had rescheduled them for May 25th of 2022. And again, for today's hearing, August 17th of 2022. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashton, Law. With the appellant or his or her representative or attorneys, please state your name for the record.
Bridget McCready with Deanna Property Management.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, Miss McCready, what are the plans?
When I was working with a contractor and we were working with Rhonda Darrett, who was out for the violations and during the winter, and we finally hired this guy on, supposedly, and we worked extensively what we were going to do with plans, drawings. We had to demolish the garage, which we called, and she said that we did not need a permit to demolish the garage, which we did. But then that contractor disappeared. So now I found another contractor who did submit for a building permit, but was denied because we needed to have drawings. There's just in this house that the owner, Mr. Taft, bought in January of 2020. The previous owner, I don't know his name, was starting to convert the third floor into a rental unit, which some of the pictures are there. Anyways, we never used it that because it was never completed, and plus there was no egress to another thing. So now we were we wanted to take everything out and just make it an attic space. But when our new contractor submitted, Mr. Rodney Wells denied it, and so we had to get sketches of needs to draw a scale of architectural quality. You don't need an architect, but some type of quality. So we hired a draftsman. So we're at that point. So now we're ready to go back and to reapply for the permit.
Mr. Chair, preliminarily on behalf of the city, this is Patty. The first notice, which I forgot, I apologize, I didn't jump in at the beginning. Very first preliminarily, do we have an authorization letter for this person to be present? I see that we have their appeal statement, but before you adopt this, if you don't have an authorization from the owner, we need at least something to show that this management company is authorized to speak on their behalf. Second, there is a zoning violation notice that was put to this with this packet. This board under Cleveland Charter Section 76.6 absolutely has no authority over zoning. And the illegal use, I believe it is an unauthorized illegal use, is strictly listed under zoning 327.02. So that violation notice must be submitted to the BOZA. You cannot hear that as it relates to the use. As it relates to and Mr. Murray will speak on behalf, but as it relates to the demolition of the garage, it does need a permit. And then I believe if I'm remembering correctly, the adjudication order by Mr. Wells was a 106 review, that they did not have the sufficient information necessary in order to be able to give. It's like the old inadequacy statement, that old 4-page thing that the city used to give. So they may not need a technical architect, which might be in their favor to do so. We can't tell them they have to have it, but it at least has to be recognizable under the codes of the state so that it can be reviewed by the city's department. So it's basically a 106 inadequacy statement, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So we would defer to Mr. Curry, but that work unfortunately needs a permit and has to get those, because if somebody, even if you've acquired it and it was done illegally, if somebody put in the work that required a permit, to take that out requires a permit to make sure it is done safely, correctly to code, and doesn't leave it in a worse unsafe position. So I would defer to Mr. Murray on that. Thank you.
Well, I think first off, though, Mr. Murray, Ms. McCready, do you have the right to?
Yes, we do have a PMA, the property management agreement that we represent that.
Then is that in?
Submit that to Carmella.
Yes, we need to have that in to Carmella Davis.
Okay, and how do I just email that to her?
Probably, I'd say it could be, but I can let her speak to that.
I'm up next.
Mr. Jackson, please mute your mic.
Okay, I can email that.
Okay, all right, so we got that issue. Let's go back to Mr. Murray.
They as was stated, they were working without a permit. They did submit drawings. Mr. Wells wrote an adjudication indicating that the drawings were not adequate for us to really figure out what they were doing and to verify if that was going to meet code or not. I don't have an objection to an extension because they are in the process. I presume they're in the process of responding to an adjudication letter. And as Mr. Wells said, you don't need an architect, but the drawing should be of a quality that we can apply the code. And like, for example, in your photos here, I see there are no handrails. They were removed at some point on the stairwell. They were removed at some point. So at some point in the drawings, you're going to detail those handrails and draw them to meet code. So a lot of what you're doing will be documenting what's there, but then noting what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what you're taking out, what are you going to leave once that's taken out.
Okay.
So you're just playing catch up on that guy that did the work without you. Now you're working with the draftsman?
Yes, I am.
Approximately how long do they think it'll take to get a response to Mr. Wells' letter?
Well, he was out there on Friday and started the drawing, so we haven't received those yet. So, but he said he'll have them for me shortly because I told him about the court case and everything. So, like 60 or 90 days to come back, or but I could once I have the drawings and I have your order in front of me of what you need, like we can go through that, each one.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, make sure your draftsman has the order, because Mr. Wells went through, in most cases, in an item by item case of what he needs to see.
Correct.
And,
Okay, Mr. Murray, I have to get a little bit of clarification here. Is that these drawings are for zoning? Is that correct?
No, it's my understanding that it's residential. So Mr. Wells has done a zoning review, and there was a zoning violation.
That has to go BOZA.
That would need to go to BOZA, but I think that's related specifically to the third floor apartment. Yeah. It's the zoning violation was related to the illegal use of the third floor apartment, which submitting their drawings to remove the third floor apartment would probably correct that violation. And then the rest of Mr. Wells' adjudication was related to the residential code of Ohio.
Okay, so she's going to need let's see, permit for the garage that was taken down, right?
Yes.
And then the rest of the work that needs to be brought up out of violation. And how much time do you need to do that, Ms. McCready?
I'm thinking like 60 days.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, this is Patty, if I can make a suggestion. If,
Go ahead, Ms. Davis.
this is Patty, if I could make a
I
suggestion.
mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
She said
Just ask.
60 days, but originally she said 60 to 90 days. If, the city would suggest that you, send the zoning notice in your, motion to BOZA for any action administratively that needs to proceed, and then the city would have no objection to the 90 days stated, because it is in the design review process for replying to the adjudication order, to get those permits, right, Glenn?
Yeah, and Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, you should include the demolition of the garage, even though it's gone, in this permit, and it would all be covered under a single permit then.
Okay, so that notice for the 90 days would also be sent to Mr. Bosa in zoning. And so we would move to give you 90 days to abate violations and to, let's see, the permit, we probably should have that on a shorter schedule. 30 days to get the permit through. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Murray.
Probably
Just do 90 for everything.
do 90 for everything. The permit has
Okay.
to happen first. And once the permit is issued, the Ohio Board of the Building Department schedule will kick in.
Okay, very good. All right, so we're looking at November 15th, 2022, which is 90 days to abate the violations and to obtain the permits, along with being sent to Mr. Bosa in zoning. Motion so in order.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Dink.
I think, yeah.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, your notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think so.
Okay, next docket, A 2222.
Yeah.
11609 Iowa Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the main structure. Issued December 9th of 2019. Appeal statement was received on February 22nd of 2022. Requesting for more time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing. Patricia Aston, Law. Would the appellant or his or her representative or attorney please state your name for the record?
Hi, good morning. This is Krishna Vadi, Fair Housing and Properties.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. Also, Alicia Price here from Midwell Realty.
Okay. All right, so I need you both to solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and let me know what your plans are.
Okay, so this is a particular property that myself and my business partner have had some difficulty with. We acquired the property in June of 2021. We didn't realize that this property was condemned, as it has been condemned since November of 2019. We received notice of the violations in December. Our plans were originally to renovate the property and then convert it into Section 8 affordable housing units. However, we did run into some hiccups with the city with those past violations that we just found out in December of last year. So we did have some So we are currently in litigation with the title company that was negligible in doing any searches on that property. So we are just requesting for additional time until we have the finalization of the litigation that we're under.
Okay. Mr. Murray, this sounds like a rehab plan. Go ahead and give me your thoughts on it.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, did you get a certificate of disclosure from the
No,
real estate?
sir, never did.
Okay, that's why they didn't.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, but I understand that you're in some legal negotiations, but is your intention to fix the building or tear the building down?
So originally we did want to renovate it. I think at this point we will demolish the property. But we're just mentioning, we're just trying to wait until our litigation is complete and to retrieve the title insurance policy that the title company failed to issue us at the close.
Mr. Chairman, I guess I would object to leaving this building until some court case is settled at some indefinite date. And
Can we at least do 6 months?
Yes, I think 6 months with the rehab plan, I mean, your plans are to tear it down, but I think that if you change your mind, you decide to rehab it, then, that's also a possibility. So I personally don't see a problem with that, if the decision is there and, then I think you should tear it down as soon as possible. Okay. You're going to need time to do that because you're going to need somebody to, to prepare for that, but to get them in place and do the job. So you are going to need some time to do that. But in the event you want to rehab it, then you could also rehab it.
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
If their intent is to eventually tear this down but wait on a court ruling, I would be hesitant to give as much as 6 months. I would prefer we remand the property back to the building department so the appellant can stay in contact with the building department, and then they can remediate the problem as soon as possible.
Good call. I think that's very good. So I think that's Mr. Murray. I don't think you object to that, do you?
The building department defers to the board. We would ask, however, that the building be maintained boarded and graffiti free and no dumping in the meantime, no matter what happens.
Okay. So we'll do that as a part of the motion to keep the property cleaned and secured. The motion is in order to deny any more time and to remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion is in order.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll receive notice in 2 weeks, and then you can work with the city on whichever way you're going to go with it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket, A5822. 12306 Osceola Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on March 14th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 7th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. I think this one is Wayne's out, Wayne's speed.
Do we have compliance on this
Yeah,
one?
for the,
Inspector?
Inspector Arnold's report.
And you don't see the person in the?
No.
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty. I believe, we're going to have a report that there's compliance on this matter. After you swear in Mr. Murray, the city would not object to, through today, to, give the extension of time. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Murray solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Murray.
No objection.
Okay.
I didn't get the report on this one, so I'm kind of catching up here.
Okay, well, going by what Ms. Aston said, how much time do you think we should give so that we give enough time to make sure everything is done?
Today.
Okay, very good. Okay, so motion is in order to grant to today to have the violations taken care of, which would be August 17th. Motion, okay, moved by Mr. Dank. Second by Mr. Dank, motion by Mr. Maskey. I think.
Yes, you're always right. You're always right.
Maskey.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Bradley. Mr. Dink.
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay.
That hearing must come with the position.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, poor
The
senior.
lack of. All right, they'll be notified. Okay, so next docket is A 6022 12835 Carrington Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued on March 9th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 8th of 2022 requesting for time to complete abatement of the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. He's been sending me emails. Those are his pictures there.
There's even tools on the porch.
Yeah. Jose, are you there?
That's the one bad thing about being here. I can't see. It's like listed. And participants panel received. No, we'll do it. You can see it.
What's the verdict?
Well, Mr. Chairman, this is Patty. I'll go through my service stuff and, I believe he's provided some of the photos, so we'll see how it goes. If you can swear in Mr. Murray, and then I'll do my service.
Hey, Mr. Murray, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr.
proceed.
Chairman. Patricia McGinty Aston on behalf of the city of Cleveland. Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Davis, did you, at the notice of today's public hearing, come back to the board's file for any reason?
No.
And have you received any communication from this appellant or on this appellant's behalf?
I have, he has sent me in emails regarding pictures to the progress he has made. I am surprised that he is not here today. We have been in communications all the way up until yesterday, which is August 16th of 2022.
So, Mr. Chairman, the city will defer to the board. Since there has been communications, we would not object to rescheduling this, or if you want to hear it and grant time based upon the work in progress that the appellant has provided information. So we would defer to you if you want to defer this and continue it, or just hear it and then grant additional time. Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll hear from Mr. Murray.
Yes, he asked for.
Yes.
He asked for
His
specific
appeal
amount.
was-
He didn't, today specific amount because it was weather
All right, Mr. Chairman, he has not asked for a specific amount of time. But he did say it's weather related. I still see vehicles on the property. However,
That's old.
I can even see his tools on the porch. So he's clearly working on it. So I'd have no objection to more time. And I would, whatever the board feels is appropriate. And if that's not adequate, then, he can come back.
Okay. So we say to the board, what are you thinking about 90 days? To have them complete the violations? They're all exterior, I believe, right?
Yeah. Nothing
Yes.
required.
So he's got to get it done before the bad weather anyways, right?
They've been removed.
Okay.
What's that?
No, no objection.
Okay. All right, so we will allow for November 15th, 2022 to abate all violations. Motion? Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent within 2 weeks.
You can always come back.
Okay. Next docket, A 6522, one. We have
61?
61.
Yes.
Oh, we jumped. I'm playing your game now. That's not good. Okay, A 6122, 1228 West Boulevard.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on March 28th of 2022. Appeal statement was received on April 18th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Lynn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston, Law. With the appellant or his or her representative, please state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Kelly Hahn.
Okay, Ms. Hahn solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, tell us what your plans are.
Well, we're requesting a 6-month extension. My understanding, this is a condo association, and the association is responsible for the repairs of the exterior and interior walls. And my understanding is they're having trouble finding a vendor that's registered with the city. We did get, or the board, I should say, did get an estimate, but the vendor was not registered with the city, and they had no desire to become registered with the city. So I also have Jonathan Roscoff with me, who is on the board and represents the board of the association.
Okay. Any idea on time?
We're asking for 6 months, like to the end of February of 23.
Okay. All right, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, are these cracks something that developed recently, or have these been a long-standing feature?
The interior cracks were fixed at one time. I've been in this unit for, I'd say, approximately 15, 16 years. And I don't remember exactly when they were fixed. I think it was soon after I moved in, probably, let's say 2006 or 2005. But then they came back, and now on the, I think it's the last picture there, on the south wall, it's gotten worse. So it's gotten worse, I would say, over the past 2 years, that there's more cracks. The one picture that I don't see is there's a crack that goes the middle bottom picture and the left bottom picture. is the top of the window. But if you go diagonal, there's a crack going down. I'm not sure when that appeared because I had a buffet in front of it. I didn't notice it until I started clearing out the room. And my understanding also is that the outside should be fixed before the inside because, you know, you need to fix where the problem is starting. Otherwise, I'm being told that the cracks are just going to come back if you don't fix the outside first.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman to Mr. Maschke. They look like settling cracks. It sounds like they've been around a while. Do you see anything there that makes you think it would be prudent to have an engineer look at this?
Mr. Murray, I most likely concur with you. I suspect the vintage of that home probably does not have built-in control joints that we would normally put in masonry structures. And there was probably some settling along the way that has exacerbated that. I do think, though, it probably should be looked at and properly tuck pointed and repaired so no further freeze-thaw action occurs in the building.
So, Mr. Chairman, we wouldn't have an issue with time, but I think it should be scheduled so that the exterior work happens before the winter, so it doesn't get any worse.
Okay. Well, that could be pretty extensive too, in getting a contractor and someone in there, and depending upon what they find. So,
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead. Mr.
And
Mr.
to add to Mr. Murray's comment, I do not disagree. A structural engineer, once this wall is opened up, it would probably be most prudent that you do have a structural engineer evaluate the wall before it's properly repaired and then closed back in.
Okay. If it's a condo, does that come underneath a housing or building, or I mean, is it the same thing, Mr. Murray?
It's the same thing. We don't care. I guess I'm wondering what initiated the violation in the first place to the appellant. Did our inspector, was he driving by the street and he saw it and came up and cited you, or is there some issue within the condo association?
I want to also mention before I answer your question that the basement floor is not full of cracks in that area in this corner of the building. And this corner of the picture here for this corner has the cracks and the other walls seem to be fine. I just wanted to make mention of that because we did look at the basement to see if it was a foundation issue.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, most likely without actually viewing this property, the basement floor is independent of the foundation wall, so they would move differently. At least I doubt the basement floor is pinned to the wall. It's probably floating above the footer. But the weak point is at the window opening, and that's why you see it angling back from the window. And without control joints, the wall is going to break at its weakest point, and that's it.
Okay. So it just
Okay.
needs something to be looked at. So we're going to do is, go ahead.
To answer the other question, it was planned, I believe last year or within the last couple of years, that tuck pointing would be done on the building. We received a new board member at the beginning of this year, and the tuck pointing just fell off the list. And I thought it was important enough, so I made a complaint.
Okay.
And Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, this is Patty. To the appellant, do you still live there, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she is aware of the issues, hazards. She lives there. It's not a rental, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, to the city, since this is a condo, shouldn't the association be cited?
Mr.
From the city's point of view, from what I understand.
On behalf of the city, Mr. Chairman, I am not sure what other matters might be going on that's not before this board, so I can't answer that, not having looked at any of the condo association paperwork, documents recorded, et cetera. So I can't answer that in this vacuum. Point
Okay.
taken, point very well taken. Don't legally.
Do you need me to send it?
I think that question was to Miss Aston.
Mr. Chairman, the building department would have no objection to 6 months. It sounds like that the board is performing routine maintenance on the building, and it's owner occupied, so no objection to 6 months.
Okay, well, let's leave it there then. So we're gonna give you 6 months to abate the violations. That would be February 13th, 2023. Motion is in order.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll get notice within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're moving on to A6522, 13617 Sprecher Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance. Issued on February 23rd of 2022. Appeal statement was received on March 19th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston, Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
There's no Jessica or Joseph Kruger online.
Jessica has her hand up.
Oh, there we go. So she's there. Ms.
Okay,
Kruger,
Jessica.
if you could hear us, if you could unmute and say your name, would be *6 if you're on the phone.
She is unmuted. Jessica, we're not hearing you. Something with the microphone.
You can try calling in on the number that was on the notice of hearing. Mr. Chairman, if you want to go to the next one and bring her back up until she can resolve her technical issues.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next.
Oh, is that her? Oh, there she
Okay.
is.
All right, speak up.
I don't know.
Are we still gonna wait?
I'm hearing background noise, but I don't think it's her.
Mr. Chairman, the last appellant can leave if she wants.
Sure. So that's Ms. Hahn, you can leave.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Kruger, you want to try it again?
Oh, there she go.
Okay, call. Okay, it's gonna call in. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to the next docket. Is that what you want to do, Carmela?
Yes, we can do
Okay.
that while she figures
All
out.
right. 86622, 1760, Catalpa Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on April 4th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 12th of 2022, requested for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray. Housing.
Yes.
All right, that's not working, whatever's happening.
Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Jeffrey McGaffick, attorney for Catalpa, and also present is the owner Ramesh Ramados and the property manager Connie Rosemond.
Okay, Mr. McGaffick, are you going to be doing most of the speaking?
Depends on how it goes, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
All right. Well, then we'll ask that all three individuals solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who's ever going to be giving testimony, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
Mr. Chairman, this is Attorney McGaffick again. It's my understanding, well, first of all, I had represented the owner in obtaining an eviction from the tenant, which was continued and rather lengthy, and we were finally able to prevail and got her out literally within this past week. It's my understanding that exterior repairs have commenced, but obviously we weren't able to get inside until the tenant was out. Was not a cooperative situation. The landowner, excuse me, the landlord, homeowner believes that the repairs can all be completed within a matter of 60 to 90 days at the most, hopefully substantially less. And we would request an additional 60 days at least from the board.
So a total of 90 days is what you're looking at?
It's my understanding that should be plenty.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, the city has no objections to 90 days.
Okay.
And I don't see any requirement for building permits.
Okay.
So, no objection.
Okay, very good. So we'll, motion is in order for November 15th, 2022 to abate all the violations. So moved.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Dank.
I good.
We have a second in there?
Second.
Okay, second, Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, so your notice will be given within 2 weeks. You're all set. You have
Thank you.
90 days. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, next docket, A6722, 11205 Notre Dame Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on April 4th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 22nd of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, guys. Joe Spooner, a member of Atlantic Real Estate Holdings.
Okay, Mr. Spooner, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do, sir.
Okay, let us know what the plans are.
So, as was stated, there's interior and exterior violations that need some cleaning up. The exterior violations were handled immediately. The interior violations are going to be completed by the end of the week. We had a messy eviction going on and did not want to try to handle these repairs on the interior while the tenants were there because as we anticipated, further damage was being incurred throughout that eviction process. So it is my plan to have the inspector back out next week to take a look at these things. I've been in constant communication with him through this entire process. He said the exterior looks great. He's aware of the messy eviction going on inside, and we're just asking for 2 weeks to 30 days just to make sure we can get him back through to take a look at these things one more time and make sure they're all cleared up.
Okay, sounds real good. Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, the inspector has indicated there's progress. We have no objection to additional time, as long as the appellant is 30 days adequate, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant? You have your
There
contract.
should be no reason why that wouldn't be sufficient.
Mr. Chairman, this building department has no objection.
Okay, so we will grant September 16th, 30 days, 2022 to abate the rest of the violations.
Excellent.
Okay.
September 16th.
Motion? So move. Mr. Bradley?
Second.
Second, Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. All right, next docket. A6922, 3828 Lee Heights Boulevard.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued on March 11th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 25th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violation. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing. Patricia Ashton Law. With the appellant or his or her representative, please state your name for the record.
He's on.
Mr. Jackson, you need to unmute your mic. There we go.
Miles Jackson.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, what's the plans?
I have completed all the work except for 3 situations. I have fixed the bathroom, the roof, and the steps.
Okay, so does that abate all the violations?
No, I have. What I need a little more time to prepare the garage door.
Okay. How much more time do you think you need?
60 days.
60 days to complete the violations. Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, they've been progressing on the project. He has initially asked for 3 months. It looks like it's mostly related to the garage. The building department would have no objection to that. And we just wanted to remind them that the smoke detectors do need to go, a smoke detector and, well, that's okay. No, that's in order. We would have no objection to 3 months.
3 months, okay. So we're gonna give you 3 months, Mr. Jackson. So that would take us to November 15th, 2022 to abate all the violations. Motion is in order.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Next docket, A 7022, 1052 Galewood Drive.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance. Issued on March 25th of 2022. Appeal statement received April 25th of 2022. Requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Mr. Hauser, are you here?
No, I don't believe this.
No, I think caller 5 is the lady. Mr. Chairman, I believe if you swear in Mr. Murray, I won't do the service because I think it's in compliance. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Murray, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chairman, my inspector indicates that it's in full compliance at this time.
Very good. We'll give to today.
Yes.
Okay, so we give to August 17th to complete the violations. Motion so in order.
So move.
By Mr. Bradley,
Second.
by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, next docket, A 7122, 2197 West 105th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued on March 31st of 2022. Appeal statement was received on April 28th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. Ms. Aston?
Mr. Duckworth, is Mr. Duckworth on the line? Mr. Chairman, if you swear in Mr. Murray, we'll go ahead and I'll give my service information questions. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Murray solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Davis, did the notice of today's public hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
No.
Thank you. And did you receive any communication, phone, mail, voicemail, email, fax, et cetera, on behalf of this appellant or this docket?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The appellant having been duly notified and the board having provided proper due process, right to be heard and appear before this board, we have, appears you have the right to go forward and we defer to Mr. Murray.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, it appears that no work has happened. However, the permits have been pulled. And I've written down here as of July 5th, 2022. So it sounds like things are progressing.
Okay. We want to give them some time then to abate the violations?
90 days, sir.
90 days. Okay. So that's what we'll do. We give to November 15th, 2022 to abate all violations. Motion so in order.
Move.
Mr. Bradley,
Second.
Mr. Maschke,
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
yes. Okay, notice will be sent within 2 weeks. That takes care of, I think, all of the violations, the dockets.
We're going back to 6522, Mr. Chairman.
We sure can. Let's get back to that one, 6522. Okay, that's right. We do have 6522. Is the appellate on?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right, we'll reopen it. A6522 13617 Sprecher Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on February 23rd of 2022. Appeal statement was received March 19th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashton Law. With the appellant or his or her representative or attorney, please state your name for the record.
Jessica Kruger.
Okay, Ms. Kruger, you solemnly promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
So our plans with the property is we have tenants in there right now that have not paid rent in almost 11 months. The situation is with the owner is currently incarcerated till October of this year, and I'm his wife. And there has been some court issues, legal issues with getting them out of the house. I do have power of attorney, but was unaware that at the municipal court for Cuyahoga County that I needed an attorney to use a power of attorney. So now we are back trying to evict the tenants. There has been contact between the tenants and me trying to come up with a date to get them out of the house. So at this point, they are asking to stay till September 24th. And we are, under the process of eviction. It's kind of a mess. So the idea is to get them out of the house, and then we will be owner occupying and rehabbing the whole house, interior and exterior.
Okay. All right.
So we are asking for some time to get them out of the house, and then also be able to start, and then also get a loan to be able to fix up that house.
Okay. You're not sure about total time then?
At this point, I think we're trying to get, if 6 months if possible. I don't feel that the tenants that are there have been pretty aggressive, and I do not feel comfortable going over myself to do the exterior work, which I normally would do. But being a single mom of 3 right now, I can't go over there alone. So I'm hoping that as soon as they're out, I can get over there and do the exterior and start with that.
Okay. Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, we would have no exceptions to 6 months.
Okay.
No 6 months.
Right. Okay. So the board will do that. We'll grant you 6 months to abate all violations. So that'll take it to February 13th, 2023. Motion is in order.
So move.
Okay, moved by Mr. Bradley.
Second.
Second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll get notice within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Right. Okay, Ms. Davis, does that wraps it up for?
Yes, we can move on with adoption of the resolutions.
All right, very good. So, let's see. A522, A3222, A4822, 4922, A5022, 5122, 5222, 53, 54, 55, 56, 5722. Motion is in order.
So move.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Approval of minutes. Are there any additions or corrections for August 3rd, 2022?
No.
Okay, motion
So moved.
moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Ding.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Okay, very good, yes. Is there any other business to come before us?
No, but once we close the meeting and sign off, I do have a question.
Okay, so anyone else have any business? Nothing. Okay, shut her down, Mr. Rulon.
Sure he doesn't have a question.
For live screening. Okay, the recording is stopped.
1 second.